everyone, you're back with the Lone Wolf. Welcome. I've been musing lately on the importance of purpose in life. Without this, there is little reason to participate with the day-to-day grind on this planet. For those of us following a lone wolf lifestyle, members of the wolf pack, as it were, the shunning of live-in relationships, and most certainly marriage and children in the West, leaves a considerable gap. These commitments have long been seen as indicators of happiness, achievement, and life success in many cultures across the globe. Sadly, the nature of gender dynamics in the West as they are in the 21st century, the shortage of quality dateable women for the average man, at least, and the financial impact of starting a family and the dangers posed to men by divorce and the breakdown of the family unit. Most of us have given up on this so-called dream long ago. So where do we find meaning beyond our hobbies, pursuits, video games, travelling, and other excursions? The meaning of life, to me at least, has much less to do with passing on one's genetic material than you would think. Anybody that knows anything about evolution and genetics is aware that we and all other life on this planet is descended from the very first so-called living organisms that came into existence billions of years ago, from simple organic compounds. Therefore, if we are all essentially related, and every life form on this planet is practically a cousin of mine to some degree, why the hell should I care to continue the family name, or not? Once I'm done and gone, I won't care anyway. With that said, recent events in my family have highlighted to me just how short life truly is. A number of great aunts and grandparents are close to or above 90 years of age, and frailty has taken hold. It really does sneak up on you when you least expect it. My grandmother passed away about 6 months ago, and I doubt it'll be too long before another one follows. Another older relative. Regardless of your views on religion, the afterlife, deities, and so on, I'll discuss this in another video later on. I think we can all agree that our time in this world is extremely limited, at least the time in which we are functioning optimally at our physical and emotional peak. My grandmother did have a very large family at the time of her passing in her early 90s, with many grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We had a family get-together for her 90th birthday and everybody was there. I can confidently state that the most remarkable thing my grandmother did in her life was build a huge family, and it was truly impressive to witness all of the life that she had created. Whilst there is a small part of me that would aspire to that, the world my grandmother grew up in and inhabited for the majority of her life was very different to the one I'm in now. Back then, gender roles were defined and feminism hadn't emerged in its current form. There was very much an attitude, having spoken to her a number of times about this, that people made sacrifices, not just for the defence of the country in World War II, but also in trying to better society as a whole. People left school, got jobs, got married, had children, and that was the done thing. Recently I was shopping alone in my local supermarket. Whenever I shop, I know exactly what I want. I walk around with purpose, avoid the people clogging up the aisles wondering about what brand of biscuits or crisps to get, pay for everything, and then leave as fast as I can. But on this particular day I noticed something. I saw a dude shopping with his wife, I presume, and 2 children. The kids were messing about, running up and down the aisles while he and the wife were trying to shop. She paid no real attention to the children, whereas he was trying to do 2 jobs at once. He was telling the kids not to run about and instead choose what they wanted from the frozen section, all while his wife was berating him for not listening, saying, "Pick that up, put that in, no, that one." I mean, where's the respect? Not because he's a man, but because he's a human being. Why can't one parent do the shopping alone to save the aggravation? I remember thinking to myself, I couldn't be any less jealous of you, buddy. And this lack of respect just wouldn't happen when my grandparents were raising their family. I've spoken about examples of this before from ex-friends and schoolmates and so on, but I do look at these people and think, what's going through their head? Did they ever have dreams or ambitions when they were a kid? Like being an astronaut, athlete, musician, scientist, writer, actor, take your pick. Did they honestly dream about getting married, having kids, settling down, and spending their Saturday afternoon in a supermarket getting berated by their wife at the age of like 22, a young man, with a child of 4 and a child of 2, and his life for many intents and purposes over, or at least the life that he knew? Yeah, that's what I want. This phenomenon occurs not only in young men but in older ones as well. You see these bewildered old guys all the time with their wives, without fail at the same shop. When the highlight of your week is the Saturday food shop at the supermarket with your wife of 50 years, and you're both retired, what kind of gratification and self-actualization is there in that? Frankly, there's more life in one of the rump steaks sitting in the frozen section than a lot of the lobotomized, castrated, dumbfounded men shambling around the store. There's no passion, drive or vigor left there anymore. It's gone. Of course, there are always exceptions to this, but I'm talking from some experience in the area, and I see this quite often. I'm sure you have your own examples of this saddening phenomenon in your own area, in your own community. At least spend your retirement, go on a world cruise, see some things, and go exploring in your twilight years. Move somewhere hot. I'm thankful for these experiences because they've shown me what to avoid in my own retirement. The average cost of a wedding ceremony, when I last looked, was about £22,000, or approximately $33,800 according to moneysavingexpert.com. The average cost of raising a child to the age of 21 is £230,000, which is around $350,000, according to the Centre of Economic and Business Research. To add some perspective to this, a single man could use the money from the wedding as a mortgage deposit on a property, if so inclined, or to start an investment portfolio. Furthermore, the money he would save by not siring any children could be used to buy a house outright if you had all of that money there and ready to go. You could go on a number of expensive holidays, or buy and maintain a high-level sports car. I'm sure you can think of better ways to spend this eye-watering sum. I think it's safe to say that the whole carry on the family name line has me a bit peeved. I mean, in my case, the family name is my dad's name. We are currently estranged and have been for over a decade. I judge people by deeds, not by name alone. So the meaning of life to me is about pursuing one's passions and intrinsic goals. We are told so often to get married, settle down, and get a mortgage, have kids. And these are all extrinsic forces at play. You need to think about the mark you want to leave. At the end of your life, what evidence will there be of your existence beyond your family name? Will it be a large family that fondly remember you and always tell stories about you? That's one kind of a legacy. But everyone needs a passion as well, be it lifting, cooking, science, music, acting, reading, writing books, sailing, traveling. Perhaps you want to start a business that you can pass on to your family. Something you can pour your infectious energy into and really make your own. I advise against putting that passion into organised religion because that's another waste in my view, which is just my personal opinion. I won't deter anybody out there from doing that if you're that way inclined. What I will say though is that I have no argument against people that practice their religion in their own way. If you want to invest your life into the church and good deeds and things like that, then that's admirable. I have several analogies that I like to draw upon. Make the world feel your existence like a good solid punch and be sure that it's winded after you're finished and gone. That's my philosophy. Perhaps the universe doesn't owe us a purpose and we need to find our own intrinsic reason for living. To paraphrase Christopher Hitchens, you're expelled out of your mother's uterus at a barn door covered with rusty hooks and nail files, and you have to use the intervening time in an intelligent and ironic way without doing anything nasty to your fellow creatures. I definitely like the libertarian undertones of this analogy. Find the meaning within, don't look to anything else. We all begin on the ladder of life in different places. That's just the way the game is played. We can either stay put or climb as many rungs as possible before time out. But there's also a few hands trying to pull you down as well, and you have to be very careful to look out for those. Thanks for tuning into this episode. You've been listening to The Lone Wolf. See you in the next one.